Australia has announced plans to overhaul the country's environment laws in a bid to reverse the decline of the country's flora and fauna. Reforms to the laws include establishing a new nature protection agency, which would have powers to make decisions on the approval of development projects. And the overhaul will also bolster protections for areas of national environmental significance, as well as tighten standards for the logging of native forests. Roger Maynard tells us the new laws come more than 2 years after an independent review found the country's environment laws were outdated and required fundamental reform.
In the past, Australia hasn't exactly excelled itself when it comes to the protection of the environment and native species. Although Australia has lifted its game in recent years, it still has a long way to go, and that's the fundamental purpose of this new agency. It comes after a review of the environmental protection laws, which found that major reform was needed to halt landscape degradation and a drastic reduction in the population of native animals. As Environment Minister Tanya Plibersek said today, the new agency will act as a tough cop on the beat and will aim to leave the environment in a better state than we found it. Of course, that's easier said than done. There are some who believe this latest move doesn't go far enough, while others fear it'll harm business. Australia's World Wildlife Fund said there had been no consideration about how climate change impacted on nature, which is a valid point. Meanwhile, the coalition argued that not enough detail had been revealed in the reforms, and it attacked the government for hurting developers. A spokesman said the main opposition parties supported the need to ensure minimal impact on the environment, but not at the cost of thousands of jobs and unworkable regulations which will strangle businesses across the country. So already we're seeing a major standoff emerging over the rights and perceived wrongs of these new powers and the risks they might pose to the economy. Having said that, Australia is a sensitive environment, and by shifting responsibility for it from politicians to a legislated body might help to protect it for future generations.